The Finals is great. It's one of the best FPS games out there and easily the best FPS of 2024. And now that I've gotten a little bit of time with it, I've got my initial thoughts on this 5th season. Hey everyone, I am Doodleman149 and today I'll be discussing the latest season of The Finals, what it brings, what it doesn't, and giving you my thoughts on the latest content drop. Let's hop into this. The first thing I want to look at is the cosmetics offered in the latest Battle Pass. I've been infamous in the past for saying that The Finals has some of the worst cosmetics out of any free-to-play FPS out there. Now, while I still hold true to this, and while I actually bought the Battle Pass last time, I must admit that this current Battle Pass is just more of the same crap. It's just not a theme I really vibe with, and I am not interested in a single solitary item in this Battle Pass. In passes of the past, there was a few things that I would have liked to have gotten amongst all the other stuff that I just don't really care about, but this one just has absolutely nothing for me. Maybe it's because I'm not Mexican, but I can't even imagine myself using any of these ever. But on the flip side, the sponsor rewards this season are the best yet. Via is going to be a must grab for my buddy Nick. Isolt is back, for some reason, with upgraded rewards from last season, then Dyson is here to finally give me something with my favorite color scheme. I am definitely going to be repping them. Next up, we have the weapons. This season, unlike last season, brings us only 2 new weapons, the Cerberus 12-gauge shotgun and the ShAK 50 rifle. Let's take a look at the Cerberus 12-gauge first. It is a triple-barrel shotgun loaded with Dragon's Breath rounds for the medium class. The shotgun only has those 3 shots before being reloaded, which halves the ammo capacity when compared to the model 1887. But if you can land enough pellets, your target will also light on fire. This fire applies to the environment as well and can even disperse gas. Oddly enough, it doesn't seem to be able to ignite goo, which could have been my main utility of using it. But in terms of damage, if you aren't at point blank range, it doesn't seem all that strong, especially if you don't hit enough pellets to ignite your target. I'll definitely give it a solid go this season, but I do not think it'll be a gun that I like in the long run. Next we have the ShAK 50, a heavy rifle for the heavy class. The rifle fires 2 rounds per trigger pull and deals heavy damage at longer ranges, more than most other heavy weapons. The dual bullets are also apparently shot out side by side, meaning that at longer ranges, the bullets spread further apart the further they go. Regardless of that, this weapon is a beast. It has good iron sights, it's basically the Odin from Modern Warfare 2019 minus the recoil, and it's really accurate, even with its hip fire. I am definitely going to be running this to get the hang of it, and I'm looking forward to trying it out with an optic as well. In addition to the 2 new weapons, we also have 2 new gadgets, one for the light class and one for the heavy class. The light class gets access to a gravity vortex, which is a remotely detonated device that pulls in anything near it for a short time. This can include arena objects, contestants, and even the cash-out station. While I have yet to see it, I could see this as an incredibly easy way to cheese wipe an entire team. Get 3 explosive barrels with mines on them near this thing, wait for a team to push through, activate it, and everyone gets wrecked. Time will tell how problematic this gadget is. The heavy gadget is the lock bolt launcher, a device that looks like a rocket launcher but instead launches a bolt onto a surface with laser tendrils that reach out and hold contestants within its radius. The bolt can be destroyed or simply timed out, but by that time your pursuer has likely already filled you with lead. This can certainly be a trolley gadget and will no doubt be used by sledge heavies to catch escaping prey. Now let's move on to the clubs that have been added to the game. Clubs are essentially clans, and I'm looking forward to reviving the Skull Crushers clan here like I had back in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1. Let me give you a quick rundown of the clubs. Keep in mind this is just the first iteration of this and some changes may come down the road. By being in a club, you gain extra XP and fans when competing as a team. PC has club chat text. You can find all your clubmates in one easy place and join them easily and get access to daily club contracts. You can pick 2 a day, and if you complete them, you boost your ranking within the club. Every club can have up to 50 members, and you can have your club tag appear in matches. There's also different roles. The owner leads the club and sets its direction and information. The manager helps coordinate members, and the scout handles the recruitment of new members. If you want, my club, the Skull Crushers, is open, so feel free to join up and play with yours truly. Next, there's a number of adjustments being made to weapons, gadgets, and some game modes with the launch of the season. First off, with the weapons, a number of weapons will now have access to more optical choices. These weapons include the M26 Matter, the new Cerberus 12-gauge shotgun, the new ShAK 50 rifle, the 93R, the Lewis gun, the Model 1887, and the LH1, at least according to the patch notes. The optics on the shotgun seem pretty pointless, honestly, just a waste of VRs, but the 93R getting an optic may actually make it usable now, but we'll get to that later. I've recently switched to the Lewis for some variety, but I'm glad to have an optic with it along with the ShAK 50. The mention of the LH1 means that we get a red dot instead of the ACOG as an option. In different news, you can now choose what soundtracks you hear while playing. You can choose soundtracks specifically that you want to hear from a variety of albums from different seasons, and can even pick multiple albums to get a variety experience. I'm sure I'll mess around with this at some point, but honestly at this point it's just the least of my worries. Getting back to the weapons and gadgets, the defibs got another nerf. Now, not only does it take 3 seconds to revive you and you come in at half health, but now for 5 seconds after reviving you can't use any gadgets or abilities. Honestly, for me, that's annoying, but I can see why they're trying to combat the defib chains of multi-medium teams, but it's still annoying. The jump pad now has a 40-second cooldown, up from the 30 seconds before. Ziplines got their cooldown increased to 37 seconds, also from 30 seconds. Mediums can now use proximity sensors. Smokes can now be used by mediums and heavies as well. Sonar grenades lost 2 seconds of overall duration, but they have pings happening every 1.75 seconds, down from 2.5 seconds. Cloaking devices now drain energy based on movement speed, meaning that the faster you move, the faster your cloak drains. Mesh shields no longer have a cooldown, but an overall energy level. Each time you close it, it loses 225 every time. Energy recharges over time when the shield stops taking damage. Looking at the 93R specifically, it got more than just an optic. It had its damage buff from 24 to 28 per shot, made the burst tighter, extended maximum damage range, and upped the damage at range, making it more usable at all ranges. The KS-23 also got some reload buffs, being basically 15% faster across the board. The dual blades had their range buffed, had their deflected bullets be more accurate, and decreased damage caused by deflected bullets and melee attacks. The revolver has 20% more accurate hipfire. The spear had its range and speed increased and buffed the secondary attack's damage. Lastly, the XP-54 now has 34 bullets in its magazine, up from the 30 before. These less than stellar weapons finally got some buffs, but it remains to be seen just how viable these buffs make these weapons. Visual recoil has also been reduced, thank goodness. The last big change is coming to Quick Cash. Players can now swap their contestants mid-match after a team wipe. This means that you could be fighting the same team and then go up against a completely different set of classes later in the same match. But more importantly, there's now a wave respawn mechanic in effect for teams, and let me explain. When the first player on a team is eliminated, a respawn timer for the entire team starts to count down. Any other teammates eliminated after this point will join the same respawn timer. When the timer hits 0, the eliminated players can spend a coin or respawn, or, if all 3 team members have been eliminated, the full team will respawn with no additional time added for a team wipe. Any players who die in the last 5 seconds before the timer hits 0 will set the timer back to 5 seconds. This is to avoid immediate respawns. And lastly, let's take a look at the new map, Bernal. This magical town is set in the shadow of the awe-inspiring Peña de Bernal, one of the largest monoliths in the world. The arena blends rich culture with the show-stopping dynamism of the finals. Traverse the narrow cobblestone streets of its colorful colonial plaza, which serves as the map's heart. Leap from rooftop to rooftop or carve your own path right through the walls. With destructible environments, turn Bernal's historic charm into the arena of your dreams. Will you uncover its secrets or leave it in ruins? The choice is yours. In terms of new maps added through the seasons, this is definitely the second best, just behind Cis Horizon. It's got a great look to it, sort of a rural-urban mix, and the layout is great as well. Hoping I get this in my rotation often enough, at least it isn't just slightly updated versions of an old map like Fortune Stadium was. And so that's all today, contestants. The 5th season of the finals is probably one of the best they've released yet, minus the cosmetics. For me, it's tied pretty closely with Season 1. It feels like a lot of fresh new stuff to dig into, and with all the changes, a lot of the fights are going to feel new in some way. Season 2 brought us some mediocre weapons, but some fun specializations and a fantastic map, plus a new game mode despite my disdain for terminal attack. Season 3 brought me my least favorite map and some of my least favorite weapons in the game. Season 4 was really light on content, seeing as the map was basically a copy job, but it felt the most balanced by far at the end. What do you think of Season 5? Are you on board with me, or have I completely lost it? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you're all enjoying the game so far, and I hope it is everything you wanted it to be. So with that, be sure to keep an eye out for my future finals content, and like and subscribe for more. I've been your host, Doodleman149, and I'll see you again, sometime, somewhere, as we try to reach the finals.